My ministry presented 2 memoranda to the Federal Executive Council today, and the 2 were passed. The first memorandum was for the approval, to seek Council's approval for us to amend the labor laws of the country. The labor laws of the country, as presently being operated, are really obsolete laws. And the ILO had pointed that out, that we need to bring our laws to be concurrent with international labor standards and conventions and principles at work. So we had to do this. It's a long journey, started since 2001 by a previous administration. And at a point, the laws were sent to the National Assembly. The bills, were sent to the National Assembly for enactment into laws in 2007, 2008. Only one came out of the 5 bills. The 5 bills sent them was Labor Standards Bill to make for labor standard and replace the Trade Union Act 2004. The second was what we call a Collective Labor Relations Bill, which will encompass a portion of the Trade Union Act, Trade Disputes Act 2004, Trade Dispute Essential Services Act, and of course the Trade Unions International Affiliations Act. So the 4 were to be now melted into one law. We also have
the Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning presented a couple of memos this afternoon to the Federal Executive Council for which approvals were obtained. The first one, which is the approval for the award of contract for the procurement of 1 number Cessna Caravan aircraft AX208B by the Nigerian Customs. And this was in favor of Messrs. Worldwide Skypath Services Limited in conjunction with Afric Air Inc., the authorized distributor of Cessna aircraft in Africa. And it's in the sum of 3,447,442,710 naira, inclusive of 7.5% VAT. This is the delivery period of 12 months. This aircraft is an addition to the current fleet in the customs service, and it is aimed towards combating smuggling and intelligence gathering for suppressing smuggling activities, and also to provide area surveillance and reconnaissance for the customs across our borders.
2 kilometers, they've completed over 20 kilometers, which has been open to traffic. So Council approved a 6.972 billion augmentation for them to complete the road. That was one. Fourth and final one is the approval for the construction and rehabilitation of 11 federal roads, totaling 737.242 kilometers in the sum of 1,535,247,224 naira and 48 kobo under phase 2 of the NNPC tax credit scheme. You will recall that in January this year, I presented a memo that Council approved for NNPC to invest 1.9 trillion in our roads. In that 1.9 trillion, there were then about 44 roads that had been awarded. They were under contract. So that was done. So the balance of that 1.9 trillion, so it's not a new one. The balance of that 1.9 trillion, roads that had not then been awarded, that had to go through procurement between that January and now, which has now been completed, are these 11 that have now been approved by council under that global figure.
Is the memo for the award of contract for the construction and furnishing of Senate building 4 suspended floors for the Federal University of Health Sciences, Elaorogun in Osun State, at the cost of 2,167,572,633 naira 12 kobo. The project is to be funded from an allocation from the TED fund amounting to about 3 billion approved as high impact intervention fund for institutions. The university is a specialized university with focus on health, nutrition, and medical services. The total of 9 academic programs approved by NUC so far, comprising of microbiology, biochemistry, nutrition, dietetics, pharmacology, medical laboratory sciences, information technology and health informatics, audiology, nursing science, medicine, and surgery.